What's up, beautiful people on YouTube? This is Harishar from Hap Labs. Yep, I did it. I finally made the decision. Instead of buying a Sony a6400, I finally went ahead, took the plunge and bought the EOS M6 Mark II along with the EF M15 to 45 STM lens kit, which I actually got in here. So let's see what is there actually in this box and this kit. I guess we are going to get the viewfinder also along with it. In the upcoming videos, I'll share why I actually bought a Canon EOS M6 Mark II instead of a Sony Alpha or A6400. So what's actually there in this box? When you actually open it up, you do have a bit of product, and then you have the warranty stuff which is up there, and then yes, you have a fat manual to go ahead and start. So this is all what is actually there. So this is your strap which is actually up there provided. Okay, so this is the electronic viewfinder that they've given. Because this is a kit, it comes with the camera, the M6 Mark II. It also comes with the electronic viewfinder, and it also gives you the lens. So yeah, I mean, if I would have not bought it as a kit along with the kit lens, I would have ended up spending $200 on this. So yeah, I mean, it's $200 saved for me. Plug to go ahead and actually charge. Oh, this is the camera itself. Wow, bubble wrapped. Okay, the M6. Oh, this is the charger actually. Okay, that's not bad. I guess I have a similar charger before for my EOS 650D, so it's a similar kind of charger, I guess. Now here is where actually your kit lens is being neatly packed. So if you remove this up, this is your kit lens. Get the kit lens out, be careful with it. I don't have any filters put on. And finally, what do I have? I actually have the battery. So this is the LP-E17 OTH. That's the battery they're suggesting for this one. This is how it's actually going to look like. Okay, let's unpeel the battery, which is actually up here. So let's go ahead and do it. Get this battery out. 7.2 volts, 1040 milliamp. This is the one that I'm having for my Canon 650D, which is currently shooting the video up out there for the product range. But then there we go. So this is basically the LP-E8, whereas for this one it's a bit more smaller form factor in terms of LP-E17. So I'm moving from a 650D, which is I think 7 to 8 years old, to an M6 Mark II. So hopefully I see a significant amount of change. Of course, I'm going from a full frame camera to a crop sensor, but let's see what I've not unwrapped this one because of the bubble wrap. You can see this is basically plus and minus up here. So this is the charger along with this one. So obviously it's not going to fit in the same previous charger. Okay, so you gotta have a bunch of these if you're going to go out and do a professional shoot or anything like that. It's the strap which is actually up there. So open up. I think it's a typical Canon strap if I'm not wrong. There is nothing new with this one. Opening up the cam by itself. Simple bubble wrap, simple packaging. The M6 Mark II. Interesting texture which is there on the top. You do have these dial buttons, dial functions, multi-function buttons up here. It has an inbuilt flash which is there in it. You can select multiple scene modes out of this. Manual autofocus, that's actually available. Obviously I'm going to put it in autofocus. I'm not going to do manual focus. I'm a noob. What do I know about manual focus? You have obviously on and off, and then we actually have the key strap up here, and then obviously we have the mount up here for EOS M lens, and then we have the battery as well as the memory card holder. Bottom is the battery, the top one is actually the memory card holder. We have the LCD which flips up all the way. I'm not sure if it actually goes wide and flips up. Oh, it does do it wide and flip up, okay, but not more than that. So that's how it's going to look if you're going to vlog using it. I am mostly going to just record my YouTube videos. I want to do a 4K recording. What I'm having on my Osmo Pocket 2 is currently good enough, but I just want to see if I can get a better quality. So that's the reason I went and bought it. The other motive for me of buying a crop sensor is to do a bit more of macro photography and easy video, a 4K video on the fly. My 650D only does a full HD, but only 30 frames per second one. So let's see how the video from this is going to look like. I don't have enough money to go ahead and spend on the larger expensive full frame ones, or the cameras which are like the A6600 which are having IBS as part of it. So this is just a simple one. If I open this up, you should be able to see this sensor inside it, and the pins below, and obviously the typical push button. But then yeah, I'm using the SanDisk Extreme Plus which is basically having almost 170 Mbps of read and 90 Mbps of write. It's basically rated for U1. I think it's called A2 for faster 4K recording. It does say 4K over here. Obviously puts an Android as well as drone photography as well as action camera. It is a UHS 1 card. That's what I actually checked. So a UHS 1 card, it's a micro SDXC card along with an adapter that's provided. So hopefully this can go ahead and do a 4K video recording without much of a fuzz. The bottom piece of it, so remember, so this notch up here faces the casing. Go ahead and actually drop it in this fashion. So you go ahead, drop it in here all the way in, and then push it in and it clicks. Take the battery, it has an arrow mark here, so use that arrow mark, go ahead, put it in. That's it. All you're doing is just sliding it in into this hole, okay, then clicks in. That's it. Put this across and then move the slider up. Put the slide in, push it back, open up the lens. Pretty compact lens if you ask me. This is 11 by 45 EF-M series. So when the packaging lens comes out, this is the lens. Okay. This is the lens here. It's a 15 by 45 mm lens. It has an image stabilizer on it. So it's the Canon EF-M and 0.25 meters to or 0.8 feet to infinity. That's what it is. Not sure if there's a macro lens or not. No idea. Looks beautiful actually. Very small, very compact from that perspective. I did not buy a filter for it. I think that's what I'm going to go out and do tomorrow. Try to put a filter on top of it so that I don't murky up the lens. This is the cap, and when you open this cap you can put and fit the lens. So first got to remove the cap for the camera. That's the body. Put it aside. Remove the cap for this thing. Remember, they only twist on one side. They don't twist on the other side. Try to be as gentle as possible. The next thing is you actually have a white dot here. If you can see this, if the camera can catch, you have a white dot here, and then similarly on the lens you actually have a white dot here. So these two should match. So take your time and try to match them, and once you match them, just twist it in a clockwise direction and you hear a small click, and that's it. It's clicked on. So the camera is actually there. So that's how it is, that's how simple it is. Not that heavy if you ask me. This is the main button. This is slider 1. This is another slider. You have scene selection, what you can do. Keep it in automatic if you're taking simple pictures. You do have a manual function button here. This one, you press and hold like this. Press and hold. That's when it actually autofocuses. Press a bit more. It basically clicks the image. On off button, manual autofocus, info, this thing. So I'm shooting from my iPhone 11 Pro. Info button, record. This is again a wheel which moves across, so you can actually select between all this, delete and buttons. You have display as well as menu. Then you have the focus points selection actually up here. You have this thing here, you have this one here. So this is the USB-C, this is the HDMI port on the right hand side, and then you actually have the mic ports here. Similarly, you basically have a flash, and then you have this one, the mic, as well as a remote for controlling your camera. It's a remote shutter control. This one here. This is the button to pull this out. This is your viewfinder, your lens. This is how it looks from the front, and then this is actually for your shutter.